Hello everyone, and welcome back to Model Monstrosities. So, in this video I'm going to be making some little stand thing, but I just wanted to say I did get some new materials and things that I wanted to try out in this video, such as some of this mold putty for molding things. And then here I've got some UV resin, a little tracing wheel, some miniatures. It's not just materials, it's also tools and things. And I got some wooden beads over there. And I got some of these bug things. And then also some balsa wood. So I think I'm going to be using some of these materials in this video. Probably not all of them. But, yeah. So, I'm talking a little bit about the layout, what I want to be building. We got the stand that sells these little itty bitty thingies that the guy collects that owns it. We're going to talk more about that later, I think. But that's how this is going to work. So, I'm going to get right to it. Yeah, here is some of that balsa wood, or what's more fun to say, balsa wood. One of the nice things about balsa wood is you can cut it up and then texture it with a wire brush. It's a soft wood. You can add your own textures and things. It's not super soft, but it's soft enough to be able to add a lot of texture with just a wire brush, so that's nice. I say that's nice because it's not... It's hard to texture wood sometimes, anyway. It's a little hard, and the wire brush doesn't always work. But with the balsa wood or the balsa wood, it's soft, easy to texture with a wire brush. So here I've got some basing materials and things, and I think I'll be using them to make the base. My original plan was to make some scatter terrain to go with this, but I changed my mind and figured it was enough work to make the little shop stand thing. Maybe it was not. I was using that guy there for scale reference, a little mini that I kit bashed, but he was out of scale. So there, I'm pouring out an ink wash I made. There, I was texturing some of that wood and, yeah, staining it. But here I'm making myself a little kit, my own custom kit for the stand, out of the balsa wood, and, yeah. I didn't show a whole lot of me making my own custom kit because it'd be difficult to understand just watching me make it. I did end up shrinking it later, actually, because the guy I was using was out of scale. He was too big for the mini I wanted to put in there. I ended up using the body of the mini or a similar scale one, for scale reference after that. Look what I'm doing here. Here I've got a drill and like a very tiny drill bit, and got one of my bits boxes, one of my special ones, got some good stuff in there, and then some wooden beads. I would drill holes in some plastic beads I got in my bits box, and then that would end up for that top look on the propane tanks that you can find. And then I'll put those on top and get myself a propane tank. But anyway, here I'm cleaning up a little bit, and yeah. Here I was sitting down on a silicone mat, Because supposedly you put paint on it, you spray in some isopropyl alcohol, wipe off that paint, and then you're good. Supposedly. It kind of takes off the paint, but that's supposedly. So anyway, I'm painting the propane tanks. So I'm using some white paint. As you can see, I'm pretty messy when it comes to paint. But, painting, it can be fun, like painting minis and things, that can be fun. But, painting propane tanks, bleh, nah. So probably two common colors on the top of propane tanks are blue and red, so that's what I used. But anyway, here I'm putting on little splotches of, I think it was maybe burnt sienna, just some rusty color, and then streaking my finger down and making a streak of rust. Or what looks like a streak of rust, So I was getting out some of those miniatures and clipping off some of the little accessories and things, and then molding them with the mold putty, or molding putty. Here I was unmolding some of it. I had put some milliput in them, and they worked out pretty well. I made a little robot arm, and I think that might have been all I used in this build of the molds. No, actually, I'll mold some little pockets and accessories and things. Those I used, I think, at least some of them. So anyway, here I'm digging through some bits, just a few of them. Taking a look at parts I could use. I'm mostly looking for smaller stuff because it's a smaller scale diorama. I say diorama. It's not really a diorama. There's a little piece I thought looked cool for like a little forge or something. I wanted one on the side. I was sort of planning to have a smoke thing there, but I ended up not doing it. Here is a close-up picture of the robot arm. I know it's a little late, but it's milliput. It's detailed, but it's also a little. I got a big fat mold line on it that I had to clean up. But here are some little bits and things that I spray painted with a sort of metallic look.
Hello. Bye.
So yeah, here I was going through some more bits and things, or I had been, but as you can see, I had started gluing down some of those smaller scale bits that I picked out, and I did find this little miniature spring inside of that forge thing. I did end up spray painting the forge thing, but I probably didn't have to. It already had a metallic look. But these things, I spray painted them, because I thought the middle part looked like a cool bit, but then I realized after I spray painted them that I could see more detail, and there were skulls on the side. So I got out one of the skulls, left it with the metallic look, and then set it on. It's not supposed to be a real skull. Maybe it's supposed to be from a one of those metallic bone golems I talked about in my first video. If you want to know more about that, first video. Time for an overhead shot. Or not. That was a lame joke. Maybe. Here are some more, just little hemispherical rhinestones that I spray painted because they look like nails. Yeah, I put them on the top. Anyway, it's time for some more painting. I did paint the base there, concrete gray color. That's the color. But yeah, as you can see, I'm trying out that isopropyl alcohol thing, and as you can see, it works. Isopropyl alcohol is rubbing alcohol, by the way. Oh, wait. Picking through some more bits. Some of these wanted to color silver, which I did later. Here's the silver. I painted a few silver. I didn't paint all of them silver. I use some UV resin in my molds too. Some of the accessories that I used, yeah. Some of them are molded. Anyway, here I tried putting my camera on negative coloring, and then tried turning on the UV light just to see what would happen. And this is it. That's the mold right there. See? Negative coloring. My light was off before, so I can see it better. Or the light I was using, but anyway, this is some goop left over from a rust launch I made a little while ago. I think it was the one I made in my last video. But after a while, it started to separate, and then there was more liquidy stuff on the top and goop on the bottom. So, yeah. So, the goop stuff, I poured out the liquid and then used the goop stuff as a sort of quick way to add rust to my stuff. Here, I use most of it up at the end of the video. Or, yeah, by the end of the video, I had used up a lot of it. Here I'm gluing down some more stuff. As you can see, it's progressively getting more of those little bits that I collected on it. But, oh, okay, it's okay. This is workstation number 2, and this is a cup of little bits that I'm going to color with some silver paint. Got some, I got a silicone mat here, and yeah, get some silver paint in there. It was about $2, so cheap paint. Oh, it's reasonable quality, cheap paint. I like to be cheap. Cheap's just how I do it, I guess. Mixing it up. Put it in the cup, and then did that. Yep. As you can see, I added some rust to the little silver ones, and then also did a green one over there. The little bits that I had in the cup were mostly beads, but there's some other stuff in there, little bits and pieces and stuff. But, here's how it's going. See, yeah, those little bits, just stuff that I pulled out of my bits box. Just lots of crap that doesn't seem to have a lot of purpose, I guess. You'll be like, wow, show us that. Show us you gluing it on. But it's not that exciting. See, I'm doing it right now. It's bits that I collected over time and things. I also went around just looking for some garbage bits and things. Most of the bits I used were like just garbage, just stuff that people might normally throw away. You know that white thing that I spray painted and it turned out had skulls on it? I was trying to remember where I got it from. I can't remember now. I don't know where I would have got that from. But anyway, this is a free little thing that I got. It's an ammo vending machine. I made some little mesh and then spray painted it silver. And then ended up with a, I put it inside like a grid, and it held some ammo and things. So for the little ammo packets that I want in the grid, I'm going to be using this mesh. It didn't work out that well. You can't really see it that well past the other ammo. But, so here I was painting it. I did a sort of military-ish green. I ended up doing a cooler military green that I was introduced to later. And then I also painted the ammo coloring things, different colors. This is finger paint. This stuff's for my crafting purposes here. It's meant for painting with your fingers, but I have found that it's sort of opaque. So when you do something like this, the thin layer kind of disappears, and the thick layer in the indents stays pretty much visible, and it's so easy. And it's so cheap. So this stuff's great. This was a sort of accidental discovery, which I actually discovered earlier in the video. I tried painting the concrete with it, and it was so opaque, or clear. I could just hardly tell it was there. I probably should have just left it. It looked kind of like more than concrete, then I painted it later. But, so here I was gluing down some last of the stuff. I did use a fuse, a garbage bag, or a garbage can right there. You can't see me pointing at it, but, you know, I filled it up with some of those bits and things, just garbage stuff. But, so, I believe that would be a build completed. So here it is, the little shop. I actually meant to talk about this a little earlier, but this shop is a character I made up. He's a member of the Dune Riders. Dune Riders is a group we'll be talking about more, I think, later in the next video. No promises, but I think I'm going to be making the guys that go into this thing. We'll see how the video turns out, though. I might not be able to get it out. But yeah, I'll be kept bashing some miniatures and making some characters, talking about how they do things. You know, this is a little rejection planet that I made up. You know, so it's a little complicated, but he collects stuff and sells it, and that'd be appreciated for anyone to subscribe. I'd appreciate that. Oops. Okay.